All right, it's Rebecca with a crow message. Apparently, I've left a card on the thing. Am I taking it? Yeah, so we're taking it. It is the Three of Wands. So before this, I was trying to decide. I recently helped someone with an attachment that they had actually had for a couple of decades. Now, Spirit told me, even though I got a lot of information, even was able to meet one of her protectors and get information on when the attachment had come through, what was going on around the time of the attachment, what was the situation. What Spirit said is that it wasn't something that I could remove from her, which I have done removals in person. And we've got the Five of Pentacles, and that was actually in reverse, because it was something that she was going to have to go kind of back into some healing of the emotions, even if she didn't remember the situation, because even what I was getting is that she may not have fully have been aware of the situation because it felt like an obsession from someone with her. All right, so we're putting these cards down. I love that I'm seeing the Five of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Cups coming out. We'll see if anything else is coming out. But I tell you that because I've been thinking about if I want to offer the house cleansings, distance house cleansings, or distance energy reads for attachments. If I'm able to remove, then I will. I'm also reluctant though, because I know that kind of like even doing the pet Reiki and things like that, even though I'm animal certified, when it's something that you're doing that's not actually the person, or if people don't understand how their energy is going to attract spirits and things like that, it just has a lot of room to come back, like even more people not understanding and then getting upset. So I'm not sure if I want to deal with that yet. All right, we're already 2 minutes in. So Three of Wands, and it looks like he's looking at options. And I feel like as we're looking at this, I'm seeing kind of a past, present, and future here with this read. So it's like there was this doorway to opportunity is the words that I'm hearing, are the words that I'm hearing. And while you were worried about whether it, and this is why it feels like it's in reverse, you were worried that it wasn't going to bring you what you wanted. It did in some way. It did in some way. But I feel like this is where we're in the present moment, that Spirit's saying, but at the same time, you've got to, I'm hearing, make a decision and decide what you want. Because you can stay in this choice. You can stay in this option, and it didn't work out too bad, but there's something more that you want. There's something that I'm hearing is greater than what you even imagined that can come through if you can find a balance. It's letting go of that fear that may be there, that, okay, you know, I took that step. This is what I'm seeing and hearing. I'm seeing somebody and they're taking the step and they say, okay, I took that step and it worked out. But it's like, okay, now I'm seeing someone in a casino. It's like, do I take that chance again? Do I take that chance again? Because what if it doesn't? What if I am sitting there in lack and I make the wrong choice? I'm being called to look at this card. These figures are both cloaked, so it feels like this is representative of that unknown factor. You didn't know before, it worked out, but you definitely don't know this time. And Spirit's giving a Nine of Cups to you. Like, this is the one that I call the joy card, because it looks like joy from inside out. And so with that, it's kind of a full card energy, and there's a treasure. It's like taking the leap of faith for the things that you want to come in, that in order to receive, you have to believe. And you also have to heal. And that's the hard part, is being able to heal those wounds and hearts. So this is going to, I'm seeing somebody sitting in a comfy chair, whatever that is for you. And you've got whatever drinks you want around you, you know, could be your water. Like, I'm seeing just multiple drinks, some snacks, like you're tucking in to sit there and not only to allow yourself to release, but I'm also seeing someone with like a notepad, like I don't have one here, but like a notepad, and they're just taking notes about what they may want. Like, it's not even a full business plan or outline. It may not even be a business, but it's just kind of, or even a bucket list. Like it's just writing down the things that are even things that you don't think that you could possibly achieve. I guess we're doing this as a general message, which makes sense. I feel, so we'll slow it down. I feel like you're not even sure what you can achieve. I heard heart's desires as I'm looking at her. There is a heart down here, and it's like she's kind of knitting her heart back together. It's being able to rest and recuperate. And as I saw that blue and then this red, it was reminding me, it was earlier this week, our eastern bluebirds decided to come back into the bird box. They had gotten mad earlier in the year. I think I did a video on it. Yeah, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea or something like that. They had gotten mad because these Carolina wrens had come in and built their house in the bird box. I'm thinking this must be important. And so it was earlier this week. I can't remember what day. Today's Friday. The eastern bluebirds, well, they were a little snippy about it. So my husband and I were out walking the dogs, and all of a sudden the eastern bluebird flies up to the male, flies up to the top of the house. I know because his colors are brighter, right? And then he flies to the bird box and he's flying in front of it. And then he turns toward me as he's flying, and then he flies off. And I'm like, babe, I think that the eastern bluebirds want for us to clean the birdhouse out. And he's like, what? And I was like, no, I really think that he wants us to clean the bird box out. And we are always honored when they lay eggs there. So my husband cleaned the bird box out, and before that, before we went back inside, the bird, like I said, had flown off. And then the next thing I know, it flies. I had my back to it because I was looking at the bird box. So I didn't realize the bird had flown around, and it flew down, and it was about maybe 3 feet away from me and flew towards the bird box again. And I was like, yeah, babe, I feel like I almost got dive bombed just now. I don't think he really would have hit me, but we need to clean out this bird box because the eastern bluebirds want to lay some eggs. And so he cleaned it out, and I sent some Reiki to the box, as I've done in the past when we would have different, what do you call them when they lay eggs? Broods? Is that just hens? I don't know. I don't know the terms. I just know I love them. And so I did some Reiki on it, and I was like, okay, so this is a peaceful space. The energy is cleared, and we're ready for you to come and build your nest. And sure enough, that evening when we went to take the dogs out again, the male was coming up with some straw or whatever you want to call it, pine needles or something, and they were building their nest. And now, as of 2 days ago, I believe, we have 3 eggs in there. And last night I sent some Reiki to the mama as she stared at me out of the little peephole. And we're just so honored. And that was a long story, but I feel like that's part of what this is talking about, is that you may not see you may not see the way to do something, or it may feel like your opportunity's passed or somebody else is doing it. But at the same time, this is about, I talked about creating a way, deciding what it is that you want, you being able to decide, regardless of whether it seems like I'm hearing pipe dream and pie in the sky, whether it feels like it's out of reach, that you focus on what you want to do. You got to heal first and allow yourself to let go of those limiting beliefs. And that's part of what the Queen of Swords is bringing to you, is saying, think through it. You still want to make sure that you plan and you consider what it is that you want to do before you make your move. Even the Fool has a little bit of planning that the Fool has done. In the Fool card, there's the little bag, there's the companion, whatever that is, depending on the tarot deck. And so you have some planning that went into place, even if it's not as much as maybe the Queen of Swords is putting in place. That way you don't feel like you're going into something without knowing what you can build. What are the possibilities and potentials? But you're also not sitting on it so that you don't move. Let's see. There's something else in here I'm being called to. I can't tell if that's dirt on her pants or if it's just the design, but it's green, or even grass stains, but it's green. Oh, Okay, now what I'm seeing, so like green heart chakra and then the stains. So even though blood would be red, it's like the stains of your emotions, those emotional imprints. That's what you're healing here. Whatever those emotional imprints are, whatever it is that's happened in the past, when you've tried to do something, Spirit says this is the important part, when you've tried to do something, and they're showing me a child, so I think even for somebody or multiple people, whoever this is for, it's general read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is something that even in childhood, there was something that you set your mind for. Now, this is just the example coming into my mind, so this may be specific for someone, or it may be just a metaphor, a comparison, an analogy, or however it comes through. But I'm seeing someone who, they're at the monkey bars, and there are other kids around, and the kids are like, go across, and the kid is like thinking, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this, and they go, and I'm seeing them kind of get a couple through, and then their arms are kind of starting to shake because they're not used to doing that, and there's a kid, 11:11 on the clock, and he's saying swing, swing, and so the kid is trying to move forward, but when they reach, they fall. So that's what I'm seeing. So like I said, whether that's literally something that has happened to someone or it's just kind of an example that's being given by Spirit to help me get that across. That's what I'm seeing. And then that knocks your confidence. So even if that happened, like something happened in childhood, it still can be part of those emotional imprints, those stains, those heart chakra stains that we have and we carry around with us. And sometimes we're not even aware of them. I think I did start out talking about the attachment, and that was part of the thing for this woman that I was trying to help with understanding how to remove that attachment, how to get that attachment out of her life, was that it came from some emotional imprints that weren't even necessarily her own, because what I had gotten at the very beginning is someone sent this. But the situation carried some emotional imprints with it. So there are things that happen and we think that we've moved through them. We feel like we've moved forward. 12:25 on the clock. So I don't know if that's important to anybody. 12:25 Christmas, December, the 25th or 12th of a month. I don't know. I don't usually pull that from the clock, but 12:25 felt important when I looked up. So with that, there can be these emotional imprints we're carrying and they affect our whole life. The other thing is, as I was talking, I looked and I saw where the Queen of Swords here, and I know I'm trying to learn my light. There we go. She has a rip in her jeans. She's casual, cool. She's got a rip in her jeans. She's got sandals on with her jacket. But what I was getting from that rip in the jeans is, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to go in looking like this perfectly polished person. Your plan, your idea, what you want to do doesn't have to be perfect. And then I look back over and I see the leaves on this Three of Wands. Like, this is Three of Wands. This is you growing. Now, usually with the Three of Wands, we may be looking out like at an ocean or something, but this is through 13:33 on the clock, this door. This feels very ethereal is the word coming to my mind. And I'm seeing someone on a spaceship, and it's like this astral journey. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. Astral journey. Like cosmic what? Cosmic, something with an R. Cosmic. I heard remembering, but that's not the word that was coming through. Recollection. Cosmic recollection. Okay. What was the other word I said? I don't remember now. See, when I'm in the moment, and especially when stuff is coming through, it's not necessarily registering with me on a conscious level. Where are we going with this, Spirit? Because I'm being called to look at a different deck. Because we kind of gotten the message from here. But I'm hearing that's not the full message. Look at the Queen of Swords. Okay. We have some flags. What's that red thing down there? There's like a cage. Red thing. I don't know what the red thing behind the bars on the tower is. So if you know what that is, maybe that'll resonate with you, but that's where my eyes were being drawn toward. And I said tower, but it's more like a column. Because it feels like whenever I look at this card, it almost feels to me like an arena, like sitting and watching like a tournament or something. Maybe it's because of the flags that are up. And then there's I want to say that's a crow, but it could be a hawk. I'm going to say hawk because I said crow and I heard no. There's like this hawk that's flying over top of it, and it's got a bird's eye view, but so does the Queen of Swords. Like, she's high up above the crowd and she can see, there we go. Okay, so that's why I'm comparing it to an arena. She can see the playing field. And so it's like, and now I'm seeing somebody with a playbook. So you writing things down, it's like your playbook. Like, you're the one who is creating the plans, the playbook, the script for what it is that you're going to do. No, not script. Okay, so if not script, what word did you want me to use? Because I saw William Shakespeare. The plays, the acts of your life. Okay, so you're not creating the script like I'm seeing like it's a whole production, and you know, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. You know, there's another person in that card, but at the same time, you're in the driver's seat. Lots of different things coming through for this one. Where are we going? I don't really know. This is coming through very interesting. Okay, gotcha. Because it's demonstrating in real time that you decide where you go. So whether you have somebody physically on this plane helping you to co-create, and or you're asking for divine assistance, Spirit's really bringing me back to you being the person in the driver's seat and making the decisions. What they're saying is because you need to know 100% when you accomplish that Nine of Cups, when you get what you want, that it was you that created that. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So where are we going? What do I want to pull out? What do I feel like I want to pull out? My eyes keep getting drawn to the Halloween Oracle, so we're going to go there. I didn't put a whole bunch of cards out on the table today because I was excited about my nose chain, and I have a small nose, and also with the placement of the piercings, I had to, luckily I make jewelry. I make earrings and stuff, make earrings. And so I had the tools to be able to do it, but I had to take a link out so that it would fit. So I'm starting a little later than what I would want to because the little jump ring was teeny tiny. All right, Spirit, where are we going with this message? And maybe that's part of it too, is that perseverance and knowing that you may start something later than what you think you want to, but it's not wasted time, that it's still part of the steps that you need to take to the goal. All right, Spirit, anything coming out? They're sticking together. All right, we're going to do this a little different, I'm hearing. So I sometimes do cards this way if I'm doing in-person readings and people, like either I feel called to it or people are used to it, but I don't often do that on the camera. So we will spread the cards out and I will pull from there. Okay, which one? That one or that one? It's like, I feel like if you've ever put, and you may feel this already, if you do this, you know, I'm not trying to over explain to you, but if you feel like I don't know necessarily how to feel the energy, for me, it feels like when you have the magnets and they're trying to attract each other. And so it feels like my fingers being pulled and I can feel the pull coming in. And then it's like, okay, so which one feels the strongest? So jack-o'-lantern, protection. Did I start this out talking about being careful about the attachments? and the energy around you right now. Like I said, I don't remember, not to fearmonger. People get nervous about the retrogrades and the energies right now and everything. You don't have to fear it. Like this jack-o'-lantern, you don't have to fear that. Most of the things with Halloween, it's not necessarily something you need to fear. And even in some cultures, or even in some religious traditions, it's a celebration of life. But at the same time, you want to protect your energy, especially because if you're going to be doing some of this healing work and resting, going into those emotional imprints, that can make us more vulnerable for a while, especially if you're like me and it's like you're seeing it as if it's a movie playing back, then you're immersed in it. It's not just like you're the outside observer. So if you're able to recognize that you're immersing yourself in it, and this is even if you're doing energetic work with people or remote viewing paranormal locations or whatever it is, trying to pull yourself out and making sure that you're the observer. Because when I was first trying to see like how capable I was of things, maybe this is important for me to tell you too, 21:11 on the clock, I experienced the brutal events leading up to the passing of someone, to the point of seeing it wasn't my arm, but the arm, and feeling myself going backwards and seeing her dainty little hand and arm with this little thin gold bracelet on it at a location for an investigation that didn't happen. There was a lot of things going on there that I won't get into. It just was not a safe space. But I even felt myself go cold. And as I'm saying that, I can feel it again. It's giving me some chills, and I got cards in my hand. I'm trying not to move, but I felt every blow. I felt the landing. I won't take you through the brutalness of it, but you can probably tell I can see and feel everything as I recount it. So just know that even if you don't personally experience something, you still need to protect your energy when you're going through yours or other people's emotional imprints, because it can affect you. Even when I worked in the mental health field, secondary trauma is a thing. A lot of times your EMS, your first responders, even therapists, doctors, especially trauma, ER, things like that, can get secondary trauma from what they witness or what they hear. So it feels really important right now to say to protect your energy while you're doing this. And that's part of where that Queen of Swords comes in, to say, use your discernment while you're also tapping into your creativity and your intuition and your joy. All right. Anything else from the Halloween deck? I'm feeling, my body is so cold because I literally felt like the life force just coming out of me. It took me a day to recover, but still, that was a lot because it was pretty intense. My husband held me and I was like, I feel like I'll never get warm again. Okay, we're there, right here. Oh, we've had this one recently, I think in a crow message, Night Song, Hidden Talents. Well, I don't think it was recently, but I may have posted it recently. So that Night Song, Hidden Talents, there are things, like I said, this is you tapping into your creativity to figure out what it is that you really want to do. And this Night Song and the way that, this cardinal, it doesn't look like the most put together card. And I said that with the energy is a little weird with this one, but it's coming together. When I was talking about the rip in her jeans, it doesn't have to be the most perfect plan. It doesn't have to be something that it's like, oh yeah, other people, you tell them about it and they're like, yeah, I can see that. That's a great idea. They may even tell you that it's not a great idea, that you're like, when I'm seeing this bird, I'm thinking of Albert Einstein and his hair and how people didn't understand him, but he was so incredibly genius and beyond in his thinking what other people may be. And so this creative idea, whatever it is that you feel like you want to do, you may sometimes even feel like you're out in the dark, out in the cold. the other people just feel like you start talking about that idea and they're just like, oh my God, like, what are you talking about? Are you okay? And so that could be even part of why you're going into your little hidey hole, is what I heard. Like, I'm seeing the bird flying into the birdhouse, is that other people may not understand it. But if it's important to you, get grounded. We've got that red, but we've also got, you know, that orange even throughout the red. Like, that's grounded, but also that sacral chakra, playful, feeling, sensing, embodying you. I say sometimes it's like the embodiment of you, like you just being authentically yourself and allowing yourself to feel and sense. But again, there's orange in here too, but you got to be protecting yourself too. I just saw somebody taking their notes and kind of like turning them down. So I feel like 25:55 on the clock, this is something you aren't necessarily sharing with other people. It's not to say that other people, are going to take your ideas. Illumination was on the bottom of the deck. Skull of light. There's a connection here to your heart. Also some solar plexus, getting that confidence in there, and then that violet and a little bit of indigo in the corners, being able to connect with crown and third eye. I kind of lost track because I saw that card. It's not even that you're trying to hide what you're doing from others, but I feel like it's so nuanced. Like, this is something that feels very unique to you, that again, it feels like others aren't necessarily going to understand what it is that you're trying to tell them. And I'm seeing the kid on the monkey bars again. And it, like, Spirit doesn't want for you to, I'm hearing, lose your confidence, but they're saying, like, it's not that you can't tell anyone, but to be careful of who you tell, because I'm just seeing like a kid just dancing around and walking with this confidence. Like, they're just in front of everybody and everybody else may be standing there, like, and the kid's just doing its thing. And there goes a cardinal flying by as I said that. Did we start out with a cardinal flying by? I know I had one fly by earlier, almost hit, well, it felt like it almost hit my window. It was probably at least a foot away, but it scared me. All right, so the energy is just, like, I feel like there's an excitement that you have about this, and Spirit saying, have the excitement, but then we also got to have a little bit of grounding so that you stay connected and protected. And in this energy, like, even in this, I have the hiccups now, Four of Swords, she's got on the red shirt. Yeah, it feels like this is kind of like more than others, but sometimes I watch them back and I'm like, actually, that made sense. Where am I going, Spirit? Star codes, Astro. All right, interesting, especially where we had the cosmic, I don't even remember, cosmic something. Remembrance? No, I don't know. When I was looking at that Three of Wands earlier. So let's go to the Star Codes Astro Oracle. This is by Heather Roan Robbins. And we'll see what we get from this. So I didn't even do an introduction because I thought I might be doing a crow message, one of my short reads. But I knew I wanted to do a longer read as well. And I would like to do another channel message soon. But I also have put out a video recently talking about I try to honor the energy that I have. There were times earlier this week when I could only do stuff from a more comfy space and doing things that were more low energy than what this is. And I had to take a couple of naps. And I used to hate naps, but sometimes you have to do it. Oof. So we've got 15, which can break down to a 6. We have retrograde and review. So we talked about the retrograde earlier, and retrograde is a great time to kind of review things instead of focusing on all the things that could go wrong. I also noticed, and I've not paid attention to this before, there's the letters RX up here, which typically is going to make me think of a prescription, possibly you too. But yeah, look, this is what I was talking about with that Four Swords. Notice that this person, there's a lot of darker energy down here and then a lighter body up at the top. And I see the blue, and it feels like this is allowing yourself to release some of those things before. So reviewing those things that are holding you back, that are keeping you stuck. You may not even be aware of them. If there are things that happen in childhood, like going to cross the monkey bars and you can't make it across because it's not a skill that you've necessarily mastered at that point, and then the other kids are laughing at you, you may have thought that was just one little memory that maybe you even chuckle at now, but maybe it did create this emotional imprint that stuck with you. So this is a time where you can review some of those things, and instead of looking at it as a failure or something that didn't go right, looking at it as, how can I move past this? Like, what is my inner self, my inner child, my higher self, whatever it is, what is it needing right now so that I can feel like it's okay for me to move forward? So I can feel like even if other people do laugh at me or they don't understand me, that it's okay. There was something else coming through as I was saying that, but you may be able to hear that there's a lot of noise in my house. And so it was confusing to me. It's interesting because when you look past this person, there's like this spiral staircase back here. And part of that's looking like a DNA strand, which with the RX right there, it could even be looking at your health, slowing down and taking time to ask yourself what it is that you need. In order to get into this recovery space, do you need to focus on resting more? I mentioned the naps earlier. Do you need to focus on, like I've started doing a berry, spinach, and protein smoothie in the mornings. And I'll, substitute that for a meal. Not to overshare, but just saying these are things coming into my brain. It's taking one step. Like there's stairs here. It's taking one step. It's not feeling like you have to do it all at one time. The other thing I was seeing when I saw this was from the Light Seers Tarot, this one, the Ace of Swords has a woman and she's got her head to the side and there's a staircase that looks very similar to this that's right behind her. It's not well lit. And then it's kind of like in her mind, there's this shell and that kind of Fibonacci spiral. And I always tend to read it as getting your thoughts clear. Like you can't necessarily see that staircase and what's ahead. It's dark, but imagining or thinking in your mind, what is your next step, and getting clear on that. I hope that made sense. And then also what I'm knowing, that's a weird thing to say. What I'm knowing, what I'm seeing in the card is that there's a lot of black and white. And then there's just that little fade of blue. Is there another color in there? Well, a little bit of yellow. There's this blue that fades into a slight yellow tint down here. So this could even be you being able to not just think about the things that may feel like they could have caused some emotional imprints or trauma and things that you're trying to move past, but speaking them out loud. Even if you're not speaking them to anyone, sometimes when we say things out loud, it can feel like a release. It's like that throat chakra release. And then also with that very pale yellow, coming back to when I was talking about the solar plexus, being able to work on that solar plexus, our gut, allowing yourself to feel like you trust yourself more. You trust yourself in your decisions. Sorry about all the noise. Let me get this card. And I talked all about sacral and solar plexus, and we've got all this yellow and orange on this card. So we've got a castle, and it's funny, I'm hearing, because one of the crow messages, I don't remember when it was. I think I posted it a few weeks ago, but it was the castle in a cloud from Les Mis. There's a lot of shadows of like crows or birds up here. And then it's almost like you can't fully see the sun. The sun's up here, but the sun's rays reach pretty far down. You may have to deal with some distractions, or you may have these ideas that pop into your head and you just automatically feel like you want to immediately jump and start doing the things. But that's where part of that protection is coming in, that Spirit's saying, yes, you want to do it, but like I said, you want to be able to also plan for it so that when you're working on it, you can do it in a way that's lasting, is what I hear. All right, we're going to go with this quiet and see if it stays for a little while. This is a long message, so if you've stuck with me, thank you. But it's like there are all these clouds, but there's also the sun. What is the number on the card? 36, which breaks down to a 9, like and we got the 9 of Cups. Like, this is something that really can be in your sight. Spirit's calling you to be able to, regardless of what happened in the past, regardless of what's going on right now, if you want it. I'm seeing Kevin Costner, Build a Dream. If you build it, he will come. I think when I was younger, I thought it said, if you build it, they will come. You have to build it. And you have to have the confidence to build it. And it may feel like it's this, I said, what, pie in the sky dream earlier. It may feel like something that's out of reach, but Spirit's saying it doesn't have to be. That dark indigo color coming through, even though the other ones are a light blue. This is connecting with the divine, whatever that is to you. And I feel like some of it could be starseed, but there was the Palladians video. So whatever time that came around, and then I started learning a bit more about it. My big 4, that was God, which you can see as God, higher self, universe, creator, source, whatever it is for you. My angels, my ancestors, and my spirit guides. So I had my big 4. And now I have my big 5. So it includes all of the above and my starseed family. And all of them are those who are here helping any of us to uplift the vibration of the planet, to help people to see their sovereignty and to feel free and to take their power back, to feel personally empowered. I don't know if I said that because my brain was in overload and I was trying to keep going, or if that was important. I feel like it was important. So whatever you connect to is up to you. That is completely up to you. Nobody else is to say. Just like whatever this is for you. This is midheaven. And pentacle is the word. So like I said, 9 and 9, it's like you're right there. It's like you're so close. I'm seeing someone where this has come forward for you many different times, and you're like, if only I could just do this. Instead of going to this job or doing this specific thing that everyone expects, if only I could just do this. Because it feels like, and I don't know if I said this with the night song, it feels like it's something that is a talent or a passion, something creative, something that, like, this is very nuanced. I think I said that you can do. So where are we going? The Creatrix deck is definitely calling me. I haven't used that one in a while. So Creatrix, anything is possible activation card. Melissa Harris is the person who designed the deck. She also, this is her artwork that is on the deck. And notice that this lady, she's very carefree, and her dress is yellow and orange. Like I said, that sacral and solar plexus chakra is coming through so much. And I just heard perseverance. So that is part of this message as well, and possibly why I have been very open about the difficulties that were coming from all the sounds and sensory overload that was occurring. Is that you persevere, knowing that even when there is something that is really difficult and literally right behind you and very loud, that you still can do this. I heard, again, do it anyway. Like, you know, that I'm hearing like that phrase, but I can't hear all the words, but it's like, do it scared, do it tired, do it whatever. You still need to rest. Spirit's already told you that with the 4 of Swords. You still need to rest and heal and go through some of those shadows and things like that. But at the same time, it's moving forward. All right, as 44 hits the clock, holding up my wings. So this is very beautiful. She's in a pink dress. We've got a lot of green heart chakra, pink heart chakra colors here. Butterfly wings, that transformation. And it actually looks like there's 2 little like spirits that are holding the wings up. So this is you starting that journey, and that yellow, like I said, feeling a little bit anxious, but knowing that there are supports, even if they're not necessarily people that are around you, there are supports there. My hair is sticking out. And then these flowers, it's very Monet-esque. There's a star up here too, which reminds me of kind of that healing with the star card, and also becoming more visible, allowing yourself to be seen once you do get this figured out. Those flowers are kind of reminding me of hydrangeas. I don't know if there's like a spiritual meaning of that, but you can look into that. They also look a bit like irises. Irises or hydrangeas. So I don't know. Let's look in the book. So this is in the suit of key, faith and trust, and it is holding up my wings. Yeah, I got so distracted, so I didn't catch the holding up my wings thing. The key suit starts on page 19. So you guys get to see in real time what my brain looks like when I'm starting to go through an overload. And sometimes I can push through it, and sometimes I have to just say, all right, that's it. I'm going to do something else, or I'm going to not do anything else right now. And so I feel like that's coming through, because it's like you review and decide what it is that you need in that moment, what's going to help you the most. All right. So the introduction to the key suit says, I am centered in joy, taking risk, trusting, grateful for knowledge that I am loved, protected, and guided in all I do. So being protected doesn't necessarily mean that you have to put on all the protections and do all the things. You're already protected, but calling in, like I call in every morning, my big five, and I give my gratitude and thanks and things like that. I'm not telling you have to do this, but it really feels like somebody's just, whoever this is for, it feels like Spirit is wanting for you to have some examples, because you know, I feel like what I'm hearing is you know what you want to do, but you're not sure if it's okay. So if you've landed on this video and you're watching me, and that's the question you have, go watch some of my other videos, because what I tell you is, even yesterday with the resonance video, the Alanis Morissette song, and that it's about resonance, not worth, or I don't remember the title. 4747 when I looked up. It does not matter whether you do everything perfectly. You don't have to have all these different tools or specific ways that you do it. It is good to have a knowledge of the basics, of the history of, and things like that. But at the same time, your intuition is just as important as any practice. So I'm telling you some of what I do, and now I understand why. It gives you a little bit of a guideline, but the understanding is, like, I don't even do it exactly the same way every day. It's just whenever and whatever feels right for me that day, whatever the energy is. So I'm not giving you permission to just go with it, but it's giving yourself permission to release some of the worry that something's going to go wrong. Just do it. That's what I'm hearing. Just do it. I don't know why I dropped the card, but we're going to keep going. All right. So this is holding up my wings. Here it is. All right. With this card, you're being asked to make a decision or choice based on faith. That's what I was just saying. Reap the rewards of finding within you the strength emanating from faith and trust. Do not worry. So Spirit says, that's what this card says, do not worry. Even if your wings feel heavy, the Spirit guides are supporting you. One of your greatest resources is faith. To have faith means that you believe, although you have no traditional facts or logical proof to validate what you know. I'm pretty sure that that's a lot of what I've been talking about during the actual reading. Okay, we're going to keep going though. With faith, you can honor yourself by taking action based on your intuition. I can't make it up. And this is where I say, trust yourself. Sometimes you may be wrong because that anxiety takes over, and in the emotional imprints, the things from the past. And so we may feel that something's off, but we guess what it is incorrectly. But trust yourself, trust your intuition, because you will find that it's often right. And it doesn't prevent you from every situation you can get into, but it does add and I'm not flipping you off, a layer of protection with being able to pay attention and recognize what's going on around you and knowing how you feel. When you trust yourself, there's a freedom that comes with that too. When people say, oh, that can't be right, they may not even be meaning it in a bad way. They may not really even know. Or maybe they're telling you that because they don't think you know or don't want you to know. But trust your intuition, because most of the time it's going to guide you out of something that could be a stickier situation. You trust the guidance of your inner being and or spirit. Open your heart and spirit, allowing trust to seal the cracks and crevices of these places. So that's like that Four of Swords energy, that healing. Let go of fear. Trust your intuition when making decisions. So yeah, that trusting your intuition and allowing yourself to heal. Like I said, the stars up here, which was reminding me of the Star card, which took me back to the Four of Swords. This is a time of illumination. Wasn't that one of cards? Yeah. Skull of light. Skull of light. Things are coming to light. They are being illuminated. But with this night song, you don't have to necessarily put what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you want to do out in the light. That you are allowing yourself to kind of cultivate and review and understand and think about in your own space. Doesn't mean you can't share it with some people, but just Spirit saying just be cautious who and how you share that, because there's something that you have that it's just you. It's just you. Other people may do it, but they're not going to do it like you. I feel like a proud parent right now. There's this swell of pride coming into my chest, and I feel like I'm going to cry. Like, this is something that I see this woman, and she's just beaming, and she's just feeling pride. So whether this is somebody you knew in life or an ancestor, this is a collective read, so take what resonates. But there's somebody, she's just like, this could even be a protector, but it feels like a loved one who's passed on. But she's just got this big sense of pride, and she's like, do it. Just do it. She's proud of you. But you got to do it. You got to let go of fear. All right, she's calling me back to the Star Codes Astro Oracle, and I know we're almost at 60 minutes, so I'll just cut the deck. So we have 33, which can break down to a 6. That's South Node past. So there's something from the past that this blue just feels very dominant. So this feels like words that people said that are holding you back. And we've got these moon cycles here. And it's like, what did I just hear? Something about phases. You've been through so many phases and stages, and there may have been points where you've allowed, like I'm seeing some like pieces of this like flying off, like there's noises, stay with me, like kind of, oh, because it does kind of look like a Ferris wheel. Oh, it looks like a compass too, but it's like the Ferris wheel going round and round, and then some pieces have come off here and there because you've been able to get up enough momentum that some things could go away that didn't need to be there, which is weird to say with a Ferris wheel reference, but okay. But there's still some of these words that you're just holding on to. And I'm hearing cuts like a knife, which I know we had the Four of Swords, and I think this has some really jagged like points and things on it. So does the Castle. So does the Castle. Where is the Castle? There are too many cards. This is too messy. So you're going from this to this. And so it's being able to allow yourself to release the rest of those past things so that you can build the castle that you've been desiring, that gets you your Nine of Cups. I'm not going to show that to you. I'm going to go ahead and end the message. But thank you for staying with me as long as you have. If you have, I do have private reads that are available. If you'd like to book those, the link should be in the description. If not, it is definitely in my bio. Again, I'm Rebecca with Empathic Crow. Thank you so much. Thank you for the likes, shares, subscribes. I really am grateful for you helping the message to get to where it needs to go, and I hope that it resonated with you. Take care, and I'll see you another time.